All right, welcome to the Jazz Piano School podcast, episode number 253. My name is Brendan Lowe, creator and founder of Jazz Piano School. In this particular episode, Sterling Kozan, one of our amazing Jazz Piano School educators, is going to be teaching you about how to make friends with your left hand. Yes, how to make friends with your left hand. Now, a lot of times when we're playing, our left hand's kind of just doing its own thing. We don't really know what it's playing. We don't really know what it's doing. We don't have control over it, but it's kind of just comping patterns, and it kind of sounds all right. But obviously, our focus is on our right hand. So he's going to address those issues in this particular podcast and teach you how to gain more control of your left hand, teach you some effective comping strategies to practice your left hand, and obviously teach you more about hand independence so you have control over both of your hands simultaneously while they're playing. Now, if you haven't gone to jazzpianoschool.com, definitely do that to check out all of our other amazing free jazz education we have to offer. And with that being said, let's dive right into this episode. Here we go.
Hey everybody, it's Sterling here with another podcast for JPS. Today I'm showing you how to make friends with your left hand. A lot of students come to me and they're frustrated because, when we're playing piano, we're doing two things at once. And especially when it comes to improvising, it can be really challenging to maintain that freedom in your right hand when your left hand might be holding you back or bogging you down a little bit. So today I'm going to show you 3 easy steps that you can use to gain a little more freedom in your left and right hand balance and independence. So the first thing that I recommend is practicing the hands separately. So what we're going to use today is a standard by Duke Ellington and Billy Strayhorn, Take the A Train. And step 1 is just going to be playing the right hand by itself. And it might seem a little basic, but it's very important to just get this step down and then we'll move on. So here we go, we're playing the melody, starting on a G. Little fun fact here, the note close to the end of that phrase, you might have heard a D flat. A lot of times people play a D natural, but it's actually originally a D flat, so something to keep in mind. So we played the first A section of that head by itself in the right hand. And if we went on to the bridge, the next 8 bars is... and then we're there at the last 8 bars. So now that we've got the melody down in the right hand, we can talk about what we're going to be doing in the left hand. So to really gain mastery over playing these hands together, we want to just really get solidified what we're playing in our left hand. And if you're a more advanced player, you can vary things up, and we'll talk about some rootless voicings that you can use. But for now, we're going to start with some rooted voicings. I'm going to play a C6 for the first chord. Second chord is D7 with a flat 5. These are all in root position. D minor 7, G7, C major 7. So those are the first chords for the 8 bars of Take the A Train. And what we want to do is really get these in rhythm. So I'm going to put my metronome on. Let's see. Let's do this at about... Let's do it a little quicker. Maybe about 140. I'll have my metronome on. So we want to practice comping our left hand with these chords in tempo. That's a very important step. Always practice in tempo. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the first 8 bars of A Train. Some people might have trouble keeping track with the form, and one thing that I recommend is always singing in your head or even singing out loud the melody. So I'll sing it out loud this time. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Boom, ba do do de do, bo do 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 de bo do be do. So singing is a great way to help yourself know where you are in the form, and also you'll notice that I was doing two things at once. I might not have been using both hands, but I was using my left hand to play the chords, and I was singing, which added an element of complexity to that process. So if you can sing and play with your left hand, then you're developing the ability to play with both hands. So last but not least, the third step is going to be bringing it all together. We're going to take the left hand rhythms that we played and just add the right, just how we sang it. And early on, it can be important to just use similar rhythms, and as you get more comfortable, you can start to change it up a little bit. So I'm going to play close to the same rhythms that I did in step 2. So I'm going to get my metronome going again. We're playing the first 8 bars of Take the A Train. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we just went through the first 3 steps to getting these two hands going. We used some root voicings, some root position voicings, and got the first 8 bars down. So you can continue this process with the rest of the tune, going through the next 8 bars, then the bridge, and then the final A section, the last 8 bars, and you'll have the whole tune down, being able to play the melody with chords. So that's going to be really important to getting you ready to improvise on this tune, because your left hand will have a better idea of how to accompany the right, and you can even reuse some of those rhythms from the melody when you go to improvise. So just as we talked about step 1, practicing the right hand by itself, we're going to practice improvising the right hand by itself too. So now I'm going to grab my play along, and we're going to do a couple choruses of Take the A Train, improvising with just the right hand. Especially if you're a beginning improviser, I would definitely recommend playing with just the right hand by itself as much as you can when you practice, because it'll allow you to focus solely on the right hand before you start to incorporate the left. So let's try a couple choruses of this. We're at 140 BPM. Here we go. So just a little right hand for you. I'll try one chorus. Here we go. One, two, three, four. right, so that's what one chorus of right hand would sound like. I wasn't playing any left hand, didn't need to get distracted by that. So that's like the ideal scenario, right? Well, now we're going to start to add in a little bit of left hand, and we're going to take a more advanced route and use some rootless voicings. So let's see what those rootless voicings would look like. I like to practice rootless voicings by playing the roots in my left hand and the rootless voicings in my right. So I'm going to play a C6-9, a D9 with a flat 5, D minor 9, G13, C major 9. So those are the chords that I'm going to use for the first A section. If I played the melody with those chords, it would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's how I would approach using rootless voicings for that. So we did step 1, playing the melody by itself, step 2, playing the chords by itself, and step 3, we put it all together. So just to reiterate, it's very important that you practice these steps independently of one another. I would recommend playing a whole chorus of just left hand by itself, comping, just to get a sense of how those voicings feel and to practice them in succession. Practice them in a row so that they get sort of automatic. Really the key to developing your ability to play the left hand and really make friends with it is to just do it over and over again until you don't have to think about it anymore. So in the spirit of that, I'm going to play one more chorus of just left hand by itself. And then I'm going to add in the right on the second chorus. So here's 2 choruses of A Train, one with the left hand just by itself, and then we're going to pull it all together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, here's some right hand. All right, so those are some ideas for you all on how you can make friends with your left hand. I hope you find that helpful, and you can use this, over any tunes that you're practicing. You can also practice it at a variety of tempos, especially when you get up to faster tempos. It's a great thing to practice, really getting that left hand solid so you can just forget about it. And hopefully you'll have a much better time and be on your way to getting more closer towards jazz piano freedom. All right, we'll see you next time.
All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed that episode. Don't forget to go to jazzpianoschool.com to check out all of our free, amazing education, all of the free podcasts, blogs. We do have a membership if you're looking to take a next step forward with us, get access to over 1,000 different jazz piano videos, playbooks, mini courses, a main course curriculum, success path, and so much more. If you have any questions, feel free to email us at support@jazzpianoschool.com. I hope you have a wonderful day, and as always, happy practicing.